Thank you for joining us today on the program World of Art on OGTV. My name is Miriam Usman. Here we bring you educative, interactive, and informative topics to enlighten you more about visual arts alongside experienced artists to tell you more about the world of art. Let me quickly remind you that the world of art is brought to you by Prince Yemisi Shillong, legal practitioner, Africa's largest private art collector, Grand Donor and Chairman of Council, Yemisi Shillong Museum of Art. The World of Art will be back after this break. Please stay with us.
World of Art is
Thank you for staying tuned to World of Art on OGTV. You know this is where we bring you all the interactions to promote visual art in our society. Today we are being joined by another interesting guest on the program. His name is Dr. Sola Kukoyi. He is a studio and academic artist with specialization in metal sculpture. He is a chief lecturer at the Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, a member of the Society of Nigeria Artists, Ogun State chapter. He is also the General Secretary of Sculptors Association of Nigeria. And today he's here to tell us more about the art world. Good to have you join us today.
Thank you, Miriam, for having me. And good evening, our viewers. Thank you.
You know, we've had a series of your colleagues on the program, and they've been telling us about sculptures. But just like art, we cannot discuss sculptures enough. And I do believe that everyone has a journey, everyone has a story, everyone is making progress regardless. I would like us to start our discussion today with you telling us how it started for you, the career, art in general. I mean, you could just be inspiring someone watching right now.
Thank you, Miriam. My journey into art started from a very early age. And actually, I grew up knowing myself drawing. I just knew that I drew every time. But my first experience that I would say that I know, the earliest knowledge of my coming into art was when, as children would play outside the house and would fall down once in a while and look at the sky. And the cloud on the sky will begin to form patterns, which I will begin to look at and think of images. I will begin to see figures of a woman, a small child, and I begin to read meanings into the patterns. And in my dad's rented apartment then, if I lay on the mat with my back to the floor and I look at the ceiling, whenever the rain drops, it seeps into the asbestos ceiling. And as it soaks, begins to form patterns.
There's an image.
And I'll look at the patterns and begin to, the same way I look at the sky and begin to form images. So I grew up knowing that I could draw. And I was drawing. However, it never occurred to me because art came naturally to me. I never considered it
as a career.
When I was growing up from 1, from 2, my dad tried to encourage me to say, try to take up art as a course of study. And I would say, no, I don't. I mean, it's art, it's just drawing. I can just draw, it's a natural thing. There's nothing serious to it. Until one day, I sat in his seat. There's a particular seat in his sitting room. He used to sit down, and from there he would look at the landscape, look at the rooftops. So I sat down there and produced a pencil drawing, just the rooftops. So when he came back, he just called me and said, Sola, come. You know, I've been telling you to take up art. That is not just an ordinary something that you can just look at this drawing. That I'm seeing this for the first time. You remember how long I've been sitting on this seat, looking out at the same window, looking at these roofs. I have never seen this palm front. There was this palm. The palm was just shooting up between 2 rooftops. He said he never saw it. So as an artist, while others look, but you see. So it is important for you to take up. That was the turning point. So I said, okay, I'll take up art as a course of study. And by the grace of God, after my secondary school, I moved on to
And you took it up.
yes, Ijebode, and from there on, by the grace of God, to a PhD level now.
Well, I must say that's quite an inspiring
Thank
one,
you.
and I really
Thank
hope
you.
anyone watching right now will get that for themselves. Let's talk about, I particularly think your area of specialization, which is the metal sculpture, is the one that is not too dominant with young artists. I have my reasons for saying that. A lot of people, a lot of young people are drawn to the drawing, the painting side of art because that's what gives you the immediate money. And I think, but I think for a second that we are gradually leaving this part of specialization to one end. So your specialization of metal, tell us more about it because a lot of people might not really know what it's all about.
Okay. Naturally, I mean, with the professional practice, in practice, it's quite easy for you to do a painting. The painting takes less time.
Yes.
I mean, you can actually, but sculpture takes time. It takes more stress. I mean, you need to go through a lot of processes before you come up with a piece of metal sculpture. And it's very tasking. And so a lot of people that do not have the patience try to move away from that area. I mean, for a painting, you can produce 4 paintings in a week, depending on the size, and you can easily sell. But for sculptures, it's not exactly like that. So a lot of people try to move away from it. But notwithstanding, it depends on individual fulfillment, individual calling. There are a lot of young men are still taking up sculpture, especially metal sculpture. If you find fulfillment in metal, in sculpture, those people do not move away. I do paint. I paint oil, but no matter how beautiful a work I produce in painting, I don't get fulfillment. But when I finish a piece of sculpture, I get so fulfilled. In fact, like I don't have any problem in life. So that is it. So that's why I'm still with sculpture. Thank you.
Okay, so we will take a look at your work. We have some of your work with us in the studio. We have the other one there, and we have one here.
Okay.
I'm not too certain of what this is, so I'd like you to tell us something about any of your work with us in the studio.
Okay. Here, the title of this is Primordial Purity. Is a torso composition of a female figure. Now, these days, you see that a lot of our women, our young ladies, do indulge in artificial beautification of their bodies. They believe that the natural body is not beautiful enough until they touch it up with artificial things, in terms of bleaching, in terms of ephemeral decorations. They see the natural beauty. They do not see, they see it as crude. So, this is making a statement saying that the real old primordial beauty of a woman is actually purer than the artificial beauty. So that is where the title comes.
Oh, wow,
Primordial Purity. So that is, and it's a bronze figure.
Yes, I was going to ask you what this is made of.
Now, this is made of bronze. It's a metal. This is non-ferrous, I mean, this is a non-ferrous metal work taken through the process of casting. By the way, there are majorly about 2 techniques in doing a cast metal work.
Before we talk about the techniques and the casting, do you sometimes face challenges of portability, I mean movement of your artwork from one place to another, because considering the materials you use for your work?
Yeah, definitely. But it's a common characteristic of sculpture. Weight is a common challenge with sculpture. Every sculpture comes with weight, and there is a limit to which you can do away with weight. This has its own weight. The wood has its own weight. The iron sculpture, the ferrous metal sculpture have a weight. It's not like a painting. The painting, I mean, you can carry 4 paintings in your hand. For this, 2 or 3 people will have to carry this.
My goodness.
But those who are more into sculptures do not find it as a problem. More so, it is more enduring. I mean, you can imagine this. So
more lasting as well.
Thank you.
I agree with you. We will go on this break where we get to show you more of Dr. Kukoyi's work. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We had to take you through some of the work by Dr. Kukoyi. And yes, we still have him with us at the studio here, and he has been telling us about sculptures. Let me quickly remind you that you can join in on the conversation. The phone line is open, and of course, you can reach us through our social media platforms to join in on the conversation. So before we went on that break, you were telling us more of the metal sculpture. I mean, for an average Nigerian watching this program right now, I mean, some people might just, tune in and, oh, this is art, it's none of my business, I don't like art, I don't know much about it. How does art affect everyone? Now, we're talking of the viability of art sculptures in our society, from the economy to, every aspect. How does it affect us as market women, as students, as lecturers, as business people, as people in the corporate world? How does art concerns us?
Well, thank you, Miriam. Art, simply put, is life. There is hardly any aspect of our lives that is devoid of artistic process. I mean, the clothes you wear, the car you drive, the car is designed by artists. And so many things, the houses, so many things. And there is always an input of art in everything that we do. Art provides us with aesthetics. Art provides us with fulfillment. Art is also therapeutic. I mean, you can treat people with art. And when somebody is in a negative mood, if there are artworks that you see that will calm the person down. That is why art is therapeutic. Even the artist himself, when you produce art, is a kind of release, emotional release. You unbundle tension. So art is so good. But beyond that, art is a viable instrument for economy of a nation. Every nation.
I think we have a call. Let's take this call. Thank you, Ade, for joining us.
Yes, good afternoon.
Welcome to the program.
I want to thank the man in the studio. I really love what you say, but showing our ladies, female generally, the natural beauty of our culture, of their body as well. So I really appreciate it, because these days it's bleaching, and which can result to cancer, skin cancer as well. So there's nothing as good as the natural beauty. You know, you don't need to bleach your skin before somebody look at you. So black is beautiful. Thank you. I want to thank the man. Do more of this. I'll go around and lecture our females.
Thank you so much, Ade. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Ade has been a regular caller on the program.
that's good.
So we're talking about the viability of art, tourism, economic-wise. Let's talk about it. We really need to, open our eyes to these things and the reality of things.
Now, you see, Nigeria actually has no business being broke. The Statue of Liberty in US 2021 attracted 1,565,000 tourists. Imagine what that translates to.
The economy.
The economy. The Eiffel Tower in Paris annually hosts about 7 million tourists. Now imagine what that translates to in terms of foreign inflow of finance into the economy. The British Museum 2021 had 6.5 million tourists.
Wow.
Now, by the way, in the British Museum, you are aware that one of the attractions of that museum comes from
Nigeria.
Now, if we develop, nurture, and promote our art is a money-spinning business. But unfortunately, we do not look at it from that point of view. And until we begin to put in policies that will help promote, protect, and nurture up our art, our practice, the artists, and the people. Now look at, on my way here, around the Kukoyi side, or you see the intersection there, the flyover bridges, the pillars holding those bridges. You see the beautiful murals that was done in that place. A lot of people will, because of that, you come there, you feel a kind of repose. You feel the aesthetics of the place. Imagine if those pillars were left blank, just the color of the cement. Therefore, if we take good policies to promote our art, we have no business relying on a mono economy of oil and gas.
Do you think there are no good policies right now?
No, I'm not saying there are no good policies, but we need to consciously put in policies that will promote, that will protect. And for example, nothing stops us from saying every public building, every public sculpture in its production, execution in the building should have a percentage of art, a percentage of the expenses devoted to art. So is either you have sculpture, you have paintings. This will naturally bring up the consciousness of art in us. And a lot of those things will attract visitors to us. And that will be saving, it will strengthen our currency. And so many, we need to put in, for example, in Tanzania, between 15 to 30% of the landmass is specifically devoted to parks, where they preserve the wildlife, they preserve you need to consciously nurture up and promote such. In schools now, some schools do not allow their children to be taught art. Some schools do not even register. My own children went to a school. By the time they got to Form 3, they were to do art. The school insisted that they would not register them. I said, no. They said they don't have teachers for art. They don't even do art. I said, I will take it upon myself. I'll school them. No way. They said they still insisted they will not register them.
Let me quickly add this to our discussion. Do you think art is deteriorating gradually in our society today because there are no effective policies, or the attitude or value system of Nigerians to art is lacking behind? Now because I'm saying two different things from this perspective.
Our value system is actually, I think it's actually deteriorating, collapsing. People are more on the run of get-rich-quick syndrome. And so a lot of our young men do not even want to sit down and learn a trade and focus on something that will bring a future, an enduring future for them. So that contributes to a part. But then the government can consciously and systematically encourage this. And that will bring up the value of art. I mean, if you begin to see art every day, is what you see. Attention is the currency of this age. When you allow such things, people to come to the consciousness of the people, and you naturally begin to develop the interest. Thank you.
Time is not by our side. I have to, drop this very quick. I know if anyone asks you, or a young student asks you right now why they should study art, you have a lot of reasons. But just to wrap up on the program today, there might be someone who is asking this question: why do I need to study art, and why should I specialize in metal sculpture? So your final word on the program today.
Thank you. Art, like I said, is financially rewarding. It's a profession I've taken up, and I know that if you are hard working at it from experience, I know you will do well if you work well. Art is fulfilling. The moment you are into art, you have a kind of fulfillment that comes into you. Art is therapeutic. There is need. A lot of people are looking for art to acquire. There are commissions you can get, like people get commissions to construct a building. And so many of our young men are doing well in art these days. So many of our students, in fact, there are some of our own students that prefer to even, we are inviting them to say, come and take up lecturing as.
Okay, we have a call. Hello, Ian. Thank you for calling us.
Yes, ma'am.
Please go ahead with your question.
I'm the officer in charge. That's what he did. He did the party. Establish this is on Kukoyi. Listen to the map. I think this is go and meet up. The pastor is station. So people will have it there. Not everybody will let them out of them.
Ian, can you hear us?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay, please take it slowly. We barely can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, and turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, go ahead now.
I understand. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I thought the officer in charge is not the doing. He's doing the correct thing.
Okay.
But he says he must say something that he encouraged to get to school. They say they don't do art. Do art. And he's doing the art is the thing. If he can establish one place, there's some people form art and go to they carry some they go there. So when he did the work, they ask for him. That's what he negotiated.
Thank you so much, Ian. Let me drop this before we wrap up. This is from Sola from Ibadan. He's asking a question on Facebook. Dr. Kukoyi, how expensive is this your work of art, and can I buy from your gallery? We also have Shade from Abuja from Facebook. Well done, Dr. Kukoyi. How can we learn sculpture from your gallery?
Okay, taking the first question, it's not expensive. I mean, it's something that is affordable. I'll say that. How can you learn art? Is either you go to school or you attach yourself to a studio master. Then you must learn the rudiments, because there are principles of composition and there are principles of the elements of design. This will guide you to determine a focus.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kukoyi, for coming on the program. Yes, just before we wrap up, we would like to get a final word to the sponsor of this program, World of Art.
I want to appreciate engineer Omobayemi Shilon for being a pillar behind art. What he's doing is actually beyond the scope of art. Is a laudable project he's doing for humanity. He knows the importance of art, and that's why he's promoting that. And I want to appreciate you, our presenter, Miriam, for the good job you are doing, and OGTV. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the program, Doctor. And with that, we'll wrap up on the program World of Art this week. But rest assured that we will bring you experienced artists to give you more details about World of Art. And until we get it right with art in our society, World of Art will always be coming your way every Sunday by 4 p.m. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you.